Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to everyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I wanted to show you two relatively new kits from Stampin' Up! They are for the Christmas season. Hello, Helen. Thanks for joining me. Yes, anyone who pops on, please say hello. Hello, Roseanne. How are you? So I'm going to show you these two kits and show you some things I've done to make alternatives, and I've even done a mix and match between them. So the two kits are the Christmas Whimsy card kit. Just looking to see what you guys can see. I've got a lag, as you may know, on my monitor to show what I'm showing. So I stop every once in a while to catch up to make sure that I know what you're seeing. So this is a card kit. It's got 4 cards of 2 designs, the way they've designed it. And then the other kit is designed as a tag kit. It's called Love Santa. This one is Christmas Whimsy, Love Santa, and it's designed to make tags. And I thought right away that these would actually work really well on card fronts as well as tags. I don't do, piles and piles of physical gifts at this point in my life with adult children. So I thought it'd be fun to make those into some cards and to do some fun stuff with that. It's cute. It's a cute set. And the cards that they make are cute too. So let me show you a little bit more detail on these kits, and then we'll get into some things. So each kit comes in this lovely box, which is great for gift giving and shipping things. You get the step-by-step instructions with pictures, including here's how many of which embellishments should go on. There's a ruler in inches and centimeters, so you know how much of the trim. And then also on the back of the directions, there are QR codes, so you can scan them to get both basic stamping tips and tricks if you've never stamped before, and then detailed instruction video for this particular kit. So they try to make it nice and easy, and it also, for those people who are a little more into the stamping world, the Stampin' Up! World, it tells you exactly which colors have been used in the kit to coordinate. But here's what you get in your kit. You get these pre-printed card bases of 2 styles. You get the tags that go onto the cards with the gold foil trim. You get printed die-cut elements that get stuck onto your cards. You get these lovely gold foil trimmed envelopes. If you've never stamped before, you get a block. You get a coordinating ink pad, little Stampin' Spot. You get a stamp set, and I've got one of those stamps mounted up already. You get, these are glue dots and mini dimensionals and gold trim and some gold stars and some iridescent blue stars and snowflake embellishments. So all kinds of goodies in that package. And then here is one of the cards the way the designer intended it. And so you can see, stuck that die cut image on there with the dimensionals. It's popped up, stamped the sentiment, added some trim to the back, and they show you how to do that. Pop that up on dimensionals, added some of those self-adhesive star embellishments. Oh, and a gold star on there. And there you go. And you could add another sentiment on the inside if you wanted, or there's place to write. And then the other one, again, as it's designed to be made by the concept artist. There's 2 of these punched out pre-printed designs. Oh, and on both of these, the first thing you do actually is stamp. So they give you this this stamp has stars and dots on it, and so you stamp that all over around the back there. And then there's another one that has snowflakes on it. So you stamp those, and then you add your cutouts. You stamp your tag, add your trim. There you go. And again, you could stamp more inside if you wanted. So that's how they designed them to be. And then I saw Diana Gibbs, who lives in Arizona, in the southeast part of the Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun. She lives out in Gilbert, for those people who know the area. She had done something similar to this, and I thought it was a really cute alternative, so I made my own version. She used different designer series paper. I used some of the Peaceful Prints because that's what I had, and I just cut it with the largest of, or no, next to largest of the Stitch So Sweetly scallop rectangles. No, sorry. This one is from Color and Contour, and then the white one is the largest of the, or the second largest of the Stitch So Sweetly. There we go. And then this is one of the sentiments out of this set. See, I used it there. And I just changed it to real red to go with that paper. And then inside, there's a bit more. Again, another one of those punch out from the kit, a little more of the designer series paper, and another of the sentiments from the kit. Wishing you peace, joy, and love now and throughout the coming year. Anyway, so I thought that was a really cute alternative, and so that's what I've done so far with just this kit and a few extra bits and bobs there. Let me set that aside for now. And let me show you what is in the Love Santa kit. Oh, did they sell out, Roseanne? Wow. Or did they just never get them in? That would be weird. No, I know they got them in because I've seen some US demos do some stuff with them. Anyway, this is the Love Santa tag kit, and it also comes with a stamp set. I've got most of those mounted right now, and a block, and the same Night of Navy Stampin' Spot. So there you go. And then it's got these are some background, some layering pieces. There are tags to stamp on, or sentiment pieces. And they're all die cut, so you just you stamp them and you punch them out. And then these are the pre-printed tag pieces, and they've got, if you want to use them as tags, they've got a nice spot that you can stick your ribbon, ribbon. The Baker's Find that they send, and this is cool. This is white and polished pink, which is something we haven't had before. Again, dimensionals, glue dots. The embellishments for this one, these are like the jewels from the current in colors. So they've got polished pink. They have these yellow ones, which the yellow in the kit is Bumblebee. Yeah, I haven't pulled out my other ones to see if these actually are the same as the Pale Papaya ones. Pale Papaya ones look much more yellow than the papaya color to me. Anyway, and then some iridescent white ones. And there's 2 sizes of all of them except the yellow ones. Oh, and then some other colored punch-out pieces. These are for layering with sentiments also. And then that goes on one of the tags. So let me show you a little bit of what I've done with this kit so far. And then we'll get into actually making some. Hello, Nikki. I did see that you popped on there. Thanks for joining me. So this is one of the Christmas tree tags, and I just went in and cut off the little hanger hole part up there, and then this is actually, it's scored just shy of the middle, and it pops up as an easel card, and I used the sentiment pieces popped up on dimensionals to hold it in place. So let me see what you can see. There we go. And I'll turn it this way, and I'll turn it that way so you can see, and then I'll open it up all the way. So it's a really simple way to make a more dimensional card. It's got several of those rhinestones on there, so it's got some glimmer. And you could get into it more and do more layers or do some dry embossing on there. But I'm liking that one personally. And then this one, I made the tag basically the way my intent was to make the tag the way they show it on the kit. And right after I stamped my second evergreen branch, because it's got, see, that's a stamp. I dropped the stamp. Remember I tell you that's my big fear, is that that's why I clean my stamps right away. Yeah, I was picking it up, and it's a photopolymer stamp, so it kind of stuck and it fell out of my hand and it dropped. So I added another evergreen bough. So you know, if you're looking quickly, you probably don't see it, but now that I'm pointing it out, you can see there's a little bit of where it dropped and bounced. Anyhow, so I decided to layer this up on a card, and I think it works pretty well. This embossing folder is in the mini catalog, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, so I'm just going to grab it. Here we go. It's star-crossed, and I don't even remember what it's paired with in the mini catalog, because I've just been buying kind of a hodgepodge of things. But it's actually got this divided, the two designs on one embossing folder. So I just lined up the corners of my rectangle on that line and ran it through. And I think that's pretty cool as a background there. And then I could stamp more in there if I decided to. So there's that one. And then, oh, going the wrong way. There we go. I cased this directly from somebody I saw on Pinterest. She has a fixation with New York and taxis. So I found this one on Pinterest, and I just decided to snag it as well. And I think I will make this one to show you how it works. But again, I cut off the hanger on there. I did that on, no, I didn't do that on this one. This one I just went ahead and tied a bow instead of keeping it as a tag you would tape to a package or tie to a package. Yeah, so this one I think is quite fun. So let's get to making some stuff. Oh, nope, I got one more to show you. One more. I did a mashup where I took this card base, which I was going to have extra anyway because I had taken this piece that was supposed to go on there and use it on this card. So I had this extra card base, and I decided Santa could be on there. And so far I haven't, this is all I've done with it. I did add some of the rhinestones from the tag kit. I might add one of the tags from the card kit, and I might just leave it like that. Anyway, I decided I like those. So, what should we start with first? I'm I'm going to make one of these for you real fast because, like I said, they are fast. And I don't know if you can see on here. So here, anyone who uses the A4 cardstock, the width of the card is 10.5 centimeters, and I did this score at 5 centimeters from this edge. So I'm just going to bring in another one, and in part that keeps me from having to deal with funky points of a centimeter, but it also, I think it just makes a nice easel like that. It doesn't have to be exactly in half. So I've already scored this in half so that it's at 10.5, and I'm just going to line this up at the 5 centimeter mark and simply score it. And that is all I need to do to be able to make my easel. It's so simple, so simple. So I'm going to bring in another of my Christmas trees. And you can see it's got this hanger for it to be a tag. And I'm just going to come in and snip that off. And now it's just a Christmas tree. And take one of my pre-cut inside panels. Really. And let's see what we're doing here. That and that. And these. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And let me find my Mary. There we go. Here's the Mary. Oh, and I want to bring in my, there we go, piercing mat, because this is a very bold font, and these are photopolymer, so they don't have any cushioning. Now I found that these photopolymer stamps, they pick up a lot of ink in between very easily. I'm trying to see if it's easier to do it. There we go. There we go. There's Mary. And I am cleaning right away. And then we're going to do Anne Bright. So I currently have it mounted on one of these small long blocks, and I'm about to change that, and I will show you why. So you go to put that on there. It's not too bad. This one's pretty small, but it can be kind of hard to see where the edges of, you know, to see through there. I can see through, I can see it pretty well. This one that's bigger, I put on a bigger block because I could see better. This one I'm just going to leave it actually because it's not too bad. I can see the ends of the piece I'm stamping on, so I can see that I get it centered. There we go. If it's longer like that one, I'll probably have trouble. It's a closer fit to the edges, and I'll have trouble seeing through the ink and the stamp, and so it's easier to see on the bigger block. You can see all of the edges of the cutout. And I go back and forth on whether it's easier to stamp once you've punched it out and to try to find it and line it up on that, or whether it's easier when it's still in the bigger piece. And I guess I find it's easier on the bigger piece because I keep coming back to that. So hopefully I'm not confusing you and I'm actually giving you useful tips. And there's this other piece. I'm going to get that out of the way because it's messy. So that kind of goes like that. I see on this one I stamped further up, and that made them butt together. But this one's going to have to be a bit more like this. Which is fine. So these are really, really thin glue dots. And unlike the ones we get on the roll, they're more like, they work more like dimensional. So they're on this sheet, on the plastic sheet, and then they've got a paper backing that you peel off. And then stick it where you want. There we go. And we'll do 3 more on this other side. This one's going to be tighter because I should have stamped it up higher. It will be just fine. There we go. And now I just barely tacked that on there. I'm going to get some dimensionals. Set that aside for a moment. I'm going to add some embellishments to the tree. And I do kind of follow the recommendation because that way I know by the end I should still have some for all of them. So this one says for the tree, it does 2 of the big pink ones, 1 of the small pink ones, and 2 of the yellow. So, bring in my take your pick tool. There's 1 pink, and I'm just putting them on the same color dots that are already there. 2 pinks, and now I forgot what I said. 2 big pink, 1 little pink. One little pink. to yellow. I want one of the yellows in the center of the star. And I'll do the other yellow one. Up there. Okay. And again, a couple of dimensionals. There. And I'm gonna trying to find just about the center here. And I've made sure that my dimensionals are down below where that score line is going to be, so that it will pop up like that. And now I will add this where I want it. To hold that in place. So there we go. I've got two of those. Voila. Okay. So now I will show you how I made this card. And I just think that's really, really cute. Need to grab my sponge dauber. And I started off with Night of Navy, and I decided it just didn't show up enough. So I did basic gray. So I'm going to crease that so it's easy to work with. Bring in my basic gray. And what I'm doing is I'm darkening up some splotches over here to give the impression of the bulk of buildings. I'm trying to see how much you can see. Yeah, you can see that. So, you could do this probably with the blending brushes. I just went for sponge daubers for I feel like I can get a little bit more control over exactly where it goes. Be careful when you're going directly onto the paper. You don't actually want to wind up with a circle of, bonk, a circle of your dauber there. But I'm kind of trying to taper it into a wedge or a triangle kind of thing. Do that on this side. And they don't have to be symmetrical. This is really quite impressionistic. Yep, I think I'm happy with that. So it gives a, the perspective and canyon kind of look. I know it's very jiggly. Okay, get that out of the way. And now I'm going to stamp some of these stars up in the sky. thought about stamping them in white, but I'm going to keep it a little more subtle than that. Yep, I don't think it needs any more than that. And let's see, what's next? Ah, yes. So the person on Pinterest, she said she used her chalk marker to make the lights from the windows. I found it easier with my colored pencil, so that's what I'm going with. And I'm looking for my ruler. They don't have to be perfect, but I did find this a little bit easier. Some of my buildings went a little wonky, which again is okay because it's impressionistic, but I figured maybe we'll try to not be so wonky. I'm trying to space them pretty much the same, since buildings are pretty regular. So they're regular within the same building usually, although I've noticed the building that they're building across the street from me has all kinds of different arrangements of windows in different sections, so that's going to be interesting to watch. Okay, so maybe there's one building, and we'll do another one that's lower and bigger windows maybe. Maybe a slightly taller one again. So this isn't super time consuming. It's just, maybe it is for you watching. There's one side of the street. Oh yes, Noah has his deer antler over here. I like this ruler because it's got the T-square on there, so I can just hook it on my card and I know it's going to be straight. So, for those of you here in Australia, how'd you spend or in Victoria, how did you spend your public holiday yesterday? Let's see if I can do one with circles. Me was a day like any other day. Okay, I'm gonna stop there for a moment and see how my see how my taxi looks on there. Yeah, I don't need to go any further in because it would be covered up anyway. So now I'm going to cut that off. I could leave it there and I could put a bow on it if I wanted, but it doesn't quite go with the street scene that I'm making, I think. I don't know, I prefer to cut it off in this case. If you wanted to do really simple cards, you could just tie a bow on there, slap them on a piece of cardstock, boom, card done. Okay, gonna pop that up with dimensionals. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the dimensionals that come in the kits these days. They're a nice, small, compact bit, so sometimes I wind up putting together kits for door prizes or something, so I like to save those to go in there. This is why I'm not using them on here. There we go. And while I'm thinking about whether I wish to do a sentiment on this one or not, I'm going to go ahead and put my inside piece in. And again, I know I've told you this before, certainly on my blog. I love when I just don't have the brain power to craft, but I need something to do with my hands. I sit and I cut a pack of cardstock into these panels, or one smaller layer size, to be able to have them ready to go. What do you think? With or without the sentiment? I know you guys might not have kits in the US at the moment, but we don't have dimensionals to order. But when I saw the last order I placed, I saw they were on low inventory, and I did order several packs. I didn't buy them out, but I did. I was ordering a few packs anyway, and I just bumped up my order by a couple more packs, because, yeah. If you live in the same country as Bruno Bucciucci, you need to make sure you've got them, because he uses a lot. He probably would have used twice the number I put on that piece. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now with no sentiment. Because I kind of like it, and I don't have any flashy stuff on there, and that's okay too. I kind of like how the lights and the car pop just by themselves. So I'm gonna set those aside, and then what else was I going to do? Wasn't quite sure what else I was going to do, so we'll just make it up here. So remember, the kit just comes with the Night of Navy. They think you can do everything you need to do with just Night of Navy. I have no problem adding in colors. That's why they tell you what colors there are. Let's see if I can do this without dropping the stamp. There's one. See how it sticks to the pad? That's a good indication it could stick to your cardstock as well. There we go. Yeah, for those of you late to the party, I did show earlier the card I made that I stamped these two and I was picking up the second one and I dropped the stamp, and so I wound up stamping a third one, which looks great. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I was just like, oh no. So that was the stamping. Let's find our pieces here. One of these leaf pieces. Like so. And again, if you're using the kit and you don't have lots of supplies, they show using the glue dots, but I'm sorry, I run out of patience for those sometimes. And if I can just do dots of glue, quick, easy. There we go. Now, on this one, what is it here? I did what they showed on their picture, and I did the joy. But they also sent along this present. Kind of wondering how that fits. Yeah, it doesn't really do it on the circle. I'm gonna go with the joy again because it works. There it is. I did not line it up particularly well, so I'm gonna try the stamping it loose method. See what I mean about them really, I don't know if this is thinner than usual or what the deal is. Anyhow, here we go. That's better. And again, the kit would have you do these with the glue dots. Which is just fine. I am much more of a glue fan. dimensionals. Pop that on there. Got another one of these. Trying to decide if I want to do it just the same or change it up a little bit. So this is, well, that's supposed to be Poppy Parade, but I think up here it would be fine. Oh, but there's the pinks. Yeah, I was thinking about changing up the bow color, but yeah. I'm going to go ahead and add the bling. I can't find anything anymore. My brain is trying to think of too many things at once. Okay, so, and again, these are the same as what's suggested on I think. I may have done something different. I'm out of yellows, almost. There we go. There are those. And I have the baker's twine. What I did was I took a good length. It's probably a little much. So I've doubled it over, putting it through. It is still attached to the roll. And now I'm going to tie my bow. Like so. And now I can trim it off the roll. Cut open the loop. And when I get it positioned, I can choose to cut those off or not. I don't know who's still with me, but thank you. Yeah, I like the blue. So I'm going to cut another piece of that. I just need to double check. I believe that is, yep, 9 by, I guess, yep, 13.1 maybe. Should be 13.4 perhaps, but I'm gonna cut and I'm gonna grab some cardstock. Let's do that. There we go. Yep. And I'm just going to go emboss it and I will be right back. like I said, corner to corner on that diagonal. And here we go. Yep. A little extra there because of the texture. And dimensionals. So for those of you in Australia who are faced with our dimensional crisis, Kylie posted a reminder that the foam adhesive sheets are still available, and those you can cut into any size dimensional you want, which I've been using up scraps of those. When I put them on cardstock and then I cut out something with a die, I'm left with that ring with extra. I've been cutting those up and using them, or scraps from when I cut them to put onto cardstock. Actually, that makes more sense, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave those longer. No, I'm not that long. I don't know why. It just seems better to me. Okay, so there are those. And I think I got, whoops, I need to do an insert. If I don't do the insert, then I go to send it out and I'm in a rhythm with mailing and I realize, oh, crumbs, I don't have an insert in it. Because I don't always write in them. I send them kind of as a gift with a pre-printed message, but the idea is that somebody will use them, and if I don't have that in there, then they really can't use them. Okay, so let's figure out something else to do with one of these remaining Santas. So again, we're gonna snip off Santa's tag hanger thing here. What I found when I did it the last time, and I put it on the dark background, and this gets really nitpicky perhaps. On the white background, I don't notice it, but on the dark background, let's see if you can see this. It's got just a hair of white. Depending what I do here, that may not be an issue because, like I said, when you put it on the white, you really can't see it. But on here, I really could. So I'm going to show you what I did, even though I'm not sure it's going to matter on the white. So I took, you can do this with a stamp pad, you can do it with the Stampin' Write marker. I'm doing it with the Poppy Parade Stampin' Blend, the light one, and I'm just drawing it along that cut edge, and it just colors that white edge enough that if it's on a light background or a dark background, it's not, it just was like a neon light to me, bright. And again, that's super picky, but that's how I am. So now I can do whatever I want and not worry about that little white edge there. So we'll move him out of the way. And what are we going to do with Santa? We could put him on a blue layer. I'm just thinking. Doing some thinking. If you have ideas or suggestions, feel free. I'm going to pull out a bit of my Peaceful Print Designer Series paper. Because I could put him in front of some trees or snowflakes, you know, polka dotty snowflakes, or real snowflakes. Ooh, that's kind of neat. I think that might be the way to go. The other side here, meh. Digging the snowflakes. And again, this is supposed to be a quick and easy thing to do, so I'm not going to spend lots and lots of time. So that's just my standard first layer, which in centimeters is 10 by 14.4. For those of you doing letter, that would be what? 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, take out that little detail. Yeah, so now I'm glad I did color that little bit because it doesn't glare out from the Garden Green Designer Series paper. And my bits and bobs here. So this piece is not going to work in the Just Jade, I don't believe. But let's hang in here for a second. And where's my try this one on the out of the backer. See if I can get it more straight than the last time I tried. More centered. There we go. And I hold it there for a while because I'm envisioning the inks really soaking into that cardstock. No, that is not straighter than it was last time. But I don't think it's going to matter so much because I think what I'm going to do is use this on the white side. All just going to blend in, which means I could probably just stamp it directly on there. And I'm just going to take a minute here to stop and think because otherwise I go, oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay. dimensionals on Santa. Of glue dots on one side here and a dimensional on the other side. Let's see how we go. There we go. We do a little bling bling bling. That's 3. Yep, I think I'm going to stop there. There, I'm actually quite pleased with that myself. Anybody still with me? You are still with me, good. Okay, I think I am going to call it quits for today. Keep checking my blog because as I come up with other designs, I will share them. And I also have a Pinterest page going that has alternatives. Yeah, so let me bring stuff back in for you to see. Can we see here? So, thank you for joining me today. I do want to remember to tell you, I am doing mystery stamping this Saturday in Australia, and it's Friday night in North America. There are 2 cards. There are 2 sets of supplies in the supply list link. You can look at events on my Facebook page, which is where you are now. If you're watching live or watching on Facebook, Nancy's Nifty Notes, or in my my website, nancysniftynotes.com, you can go and search for mystery stamping and find the 6 November supply list and download it, and we will go through and make 2 cards and see what everyone comes up with. So, hope you will join me for that. It's very fun, no pressure, just cut your supplies in advance and make what you feel like making based on the clues, and then we'll see what you got. Yeah, so thanks for joining me today, and I will be back next week. North American clocks outside of Arizona do change, so if you're catching me live from somewhere other than Arizona, please do double check the time. I will have a link on my event and on my website, so you can check the time But the event in Facebook should also give you the local time for you. So hopefully you'll find me, and I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.